Hey guys, it's Joe from GadgetryTech.com, and today we're covering the HEADSPIN Convertible light system. It is a rechargeable modular light system that comes with several accessories in the box. So we're going to unbox this, take a look at what comes inside, then of course test it out and give you our final thoughts at the end. Alright, so before we use this we have to unbox it. And before I take all the packaging apart, I just want to cover a couple things on here so we don't miss it later. IP66 weather resistance, which is going to help with dust and rain and moisture. 400 lumens is incredibly bright for such a small light, so I want to point that out. And it says up to 40 hours of continuous use. We'll cover all the other features as far as how it mounts and attaches and the magnetics and all that stuff, but I did want to say that. So we have some weights on the side here. Basically, it's extremely lightweight, 62 grams for the head mount, and then the flashlight itself is 110 grams. There's basically very little weight involved with this, considering the capacity and the output, brightness and how long the batteries last. So it's pretty remarkable. We're going to test it by doing a drop test later too, after we do the illumination tests, but it's supposed to be extremely well made, and that's why they made this thing, because they found that the normal headlights or flashlights and stuff that you buy out there, they don't work well, or they break. So this is the kit. It is $169.99. Comes with a few accessories in the box. The main piece right here being the flashlight. We're going to cover the illumination patterns after, but that's how big it is. It's actually extremely small and compact. Then you have this little charging base, and this is magnetic. So basically all you have to do is line up these orange dots, and when you let it go, it spins into place. And so you can see that happen there. What's cool about this is you can flip this up and charge it by plugging it directly into a wall, which is awesome. But if you undo this and look at this little cover underneath, I'm going to try to pop this out. So slide it out and then flip it, and then you can see a micro USB charge port. It's not USB-C, which is unfortunate, but most people should have a micro USB cable. It does come with one, so we'll show you that after. So the reason why I wanted to show you that is if you go camping, for example, and you need to recharge this, you won't have an AC outlet. So it's nice that you can charge it with that. It means you can use a portable battery, and that'll give you a lot more life without needing to plug it into a wall. This is a head strap, so again, it's adjustable, it's stretchy, which helps. It makes it so you have less time messing around with it. It should be pretty comfortable because the way they run the strap, that'll help give you some padding on your head. And again, the same mechanism with this whole orange dot. Just place it in and it locks into place. So now that we've covered that, it has a traditional flashlight assembly. This actually has a decent bit of weight to it, which is surprising, considering the battery is in the light itself, but that may help with balance. So again, just push it in and it locks into place, and that's it, and you have the buttons on top. It's a pretty good size. It gets the job done, and it's all ABS plastic, so it should be pretty durable. And then you have your, I'll call this the handlebar mount. Basically with this mount you can attach it to a mountain bike frame, you can attach it to a bar on the back of a utility vehicle, whatever it may be, but it does let you mount it on that. And the nice thing about all this is if you buy multiple mounts later, which you can do, they sell these mounts separately, they're all in $20 range, you can have these permanently mounted on something and then just simply move the light to the location you need to use it at, which is great. Looking at the top of the cover, you have this little Velcro strap, or Velcro flap, if you will. Warranty, sticker, how to use it, and then of course your charge cable. This little rubber piece, I'm assuming, goes inside the handlebar mount to give it extra grip, because a hard plastic mount is not going to stay in place, obviously. So they give you that there. So that covers the accessories. I'm going to show you the buttons real quick. So basically you have 4 buttons on here that do different things. If I hold the top one, let's see, where's the bottom one? So that's the flash pattern. You can see the green light for power. If I press the left button again, that changes mode, and it's a spotlight, and then I press it again and it's blinking. If I change the right one, that'll go from spotlight to floodlight, because it's basically 2 different LEDs. We're gonna spend more time focusing on that, but basically the buttons all get the job done up top, and then your top and bottom buttons will give you your brightness. So depending on how much output you need, you can scale it back. That'll give you better battery life and give you more control over the illumination. So now it's time to use this thing. We'll show you the light patterns and how well it works at night. Okay guys, now it's time to show you the brightness of this flashlight and what the different modes look like. Basically in floodlight mode, which is the widest dispersion, we're going to start with the lowest possible brightness and turn that on now. So this is as dark as it gets. And again, this is using a camera to record, so mileage may vary. It looks a little bit brighter in person, but I want it to stay as accurate as possible. So with that being said, we're going to step up the brightness. That's the next step. Step 3. And full bright. As you can tell, the illumination is absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to go down to the softest setting again. Then I'm going to switch it over to spotlight mode instead of flood. Now it's a concentrated beam. There's a third LED. It's in the center. It's a little bit brighter and the light's a lot more focused. We're going to step up the brightness again. And you can tell the light pattern is much tighter, but is extremely bright in the center, and that helps for long range. Back to the dimmest setting. And now on this mode, I want to show you, this is with the headspin light on the dimmest setting. I'm going to turn it off, and then I'm going to turn on a $20 Skill LED flashlight. There is roughly 10 or 9 LEDs inside this Skill flashlight. It's what most people would typically purchase. You get a $20 decent flashlight, and that's it. So I'm going to turn off the headspin now. Here is my $20 flashlight at the same camera recording. And if I turn the spotlight back on the headspin light, you can already see the light pattern's a little bit better. It's also a little bit warmer, which is nice, considering it's still LED. But if I go one step up, it's like this light is doing anything. It's almost not there anymore. Step up again. Again, I haven't turned off that spotlight. You can see it on the bottom now. Full brightness, and you can see just how bright that headspin light is. It kind of makes these little cheap flashlights irrelevant. I know the headspin's more money, but the light dispersion capabilities, the brightness, the battery life, the durability, it all plays into effect, and this is what you're paying for when you get a high-end flashlight. You're not just paying for the modularity. Okay, one of the benefits of the headspin light system is that because it's magnetic, you can mount it underneath the hood of a car, which helps you work on it at night. That is huge because there's not a lot of good options to give you light. If you're broken down on the side of the road and you need to stick a light under there, you pretty much have nothing. Most people are just going to have their cell phone on them. So you can pop this out. The only thing I want to point out is not all hoods are made of steel. A lot of new cars use aluminum or fiberglass depending on the vehicle. Some are even carbon fiber. However, the latch, which is a pretty heavy duty piece of metal, is almost always steel. So with that being said, even though it won't work under the hood like the picture can show in some cases, you can still mount it to the latch safely. So I'm going to do that now, and it's solid. I can hit the hood and it's not going to go anywhere. And then I just tap the button and all of a sudden I can see everything under the engine bay. So this comes in handy. Again, for an emergency situation, keeping a headspin light in your car is awesome. And this just gives you another use case where you can use it pretty much on any vehicle if you're ever stuck. All right, so as you guys saw, this thing gets crazy bright. At max brightness, you get 400 lumens out of this tiny little enclosure. And the battery life is good for up to an hour and a half at max brightness, whether you're in spotlight or flood mode. So brightness is good, battery life is good. Obviously the durability is excellent. You can really, you can drop this thing and it'll be fine. Up to 6-foot drop, you'll never have an issue. This is basically like the GoPro of the flashlight world. So if you're looking for a way to compare it, it's not going to give you the best possible lumens or brightness output at $170. You're paying a little bit for the case, the modularity, the handle, the charger, the bike mount. All these things are extra accessories. But I love that it's modular because $170 gets you all of this. $80 gets you another one of the lights, with which has the battery and all the adjustability I was telling you about. So if you're like me, what I use it for, I want to keep one in my car because I love that you can mount it on the hood latch or just keep it in your trunk for emergencies. If you break down, you put it in strobe mode or help out someone who's stuck. So I like having it in the car, but I actually use this on my bike a lot. I wanted to show you this bike mount. I took it off because it's really cool. They give you this removable rubber ring that goes inside. It's to help grip the handlebars. That little ring is replaceable if you need to. However, what's really cool is the way it mounts, it's really flexible, so it's very easy to get on. But they even have a little lock washer on the screw, so you won't lose the screw if you take it off. And again, it's those little attention to detail that is what you're paying for in a product like this. Another thing that's nice, and this is consistent across all their mounts, I checked it, the little orange dot is basically going to tell you that once your camera's locked in place, that's the direction where the buttons will be. So when I mount this on my bike, I want that orange dot on top. The buttons are right here, so if I know when I put this in, it's going to rotate, and my buttons are on top. It just makes it so much easier for using without having to guess. So just having that little dot in there is excellent. As I mentioned, with all the accessories, it does actually come with an Allen wrench too, so that's kind of convenient. This cable is braided. It's actually a pretty decent length. It's about 1.5 feet long, so 18-inch cord is more than enough to charge something like this. And again, you have an AC charger, which is included. So long story short, guys, it's $170. You can get it on the HEADSPIN store or Amazon.com. I was a little skeptical at first because of the cost and the size. Usually things this compact don't work that well. This has worked better than I expected or even thought was possible because of how well it's built. Yeah, so we've been very happy with it. I use it a lot now, a lot more than I expected to. And with that being said, I hope you guys found this helpful. Again, you can buy this on Amazon or their store. If you want to purchase an additional light like I do, it's only $80 for this, and you can then benefit from all the accessories, have one in your car, one on your bike, or wherever you're mounting it. So anyway, I hope you guys found this helpful. If you have any questions, shoot me a comment below. Otherwise, be sure to subscribe because we have a lot of great content that's been coming out lately. We've had a lot of growth, so thank you all for watching the channel and supporting us, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.